That is unfortunate. David O'Connor, of course, is. He's in the rather odd position of, on the one hand, being my colleague because he's president of the United States Equestrian Federation, on the other hand, being my employee as coach of our team. And I never tire of reminding him of that. But he has been a great leader as coach for our eventers. Losing him is a misfortune for our team, both for the Canadian eventing team and for the wider Canadian equestrian team. And we will be. I'm doing my best to ensure that by the time we hand him over to the United States equestrian team, for whom he'll be coaching, that I will have squeezed him like a sponge so that every drop of talent and will has been left in Canada before he goes south. But the United States equestrian team, eventing team, made a mistake in not choosing David as their coach when they could have earlier. They clearly have recognized that that was a mistake and have corrected it. But I will say this: we intend. The greatest honor that we can do to David as he coaches our rival team in the United States is to show him that we have learned everything he had to teach well enough that we will give him the thrashing of his life when he coaches the Americans.
And then going to get someone really, really good.
Oh, good Lord, I hope so.
Like Mark Todd, for example, can we get him?
It would be uncharitable of me to mention names at this point, okay. But you're right. The actual search process, we've made a decision will not start in earnest until after the Olympics, but we'll start immediately after the Olympics. Having said that, we have put out informal feelers to a number of prospective clients, a number of prospective coaches, I should say. And generally the response has been good. In part, this is a team that people want to coach. So we are relatively lucky in that the successes we've enjoyed over the past few years has made Canadian eventing a desirable commodity. Finding the right coach for the team, though, it's not a simple matter of simply finding the objectively best person. It's a question of the best fit. Finding someone whose style, not just someone who has the right abilities, but the person whose style will work well with our athletes, who can command their respect without and not have to rely upon command, if I may put it that way. It's a hard job, but I am hopeful, and David will leave behind big shoes to fill. He's been obviously a great coach. The results speak for themselves, and I have to say he is an honourable human being. I've enjoyed working with him both as our coach and also as my colleague in his role as head of the United States Equestrian Federation. On that side, I have to say he has always had the courage of his convictions when I've seen him speak and act in the FEI, and I have no doubt that perspective and that way of being has held him in good stead in his work with our athletes. I would certainly prefer to have someone who lives in North America, is simply because such a person would be able to work more closely with our athletes and have a more consistent application of a high performance plan. We would not, however, rule out someone who lived outside of our continent, but it's fair to say that such a person would have to have additional skills and abilities to overcome the fact that he or she would have less frequent contact with our riders. And ideally, we would like to find someone who's a superb coach, internationally well respected, lives in Canada, and will work for free. But if you know such a person.